Really? Man, it's a slippery slope. You got to be careful. What's next? Huh? The least needed race? Huh? You got to be careful. And the second problem I have with this is the conclusion itself. How could anyone make such a decision? There's no such thing as the most beautiful race. All women of every race can be beautiful. There's no such thing as the most beautiful race. Because facially, every woman has different features. You can be beautiful no matter what race you are. Yeah, women all can have beautiful faces. Women can all have beautiful boobs. That's just the standard thing, you know. All women of every race can be beautiful. Yeah, and I know some of you are sitting there now going, oh, Trevor, yeah, but I've never seen a beautiful Aborigine. Yeah, but you know what you say? You say yet. That's what you say. Yet. Because you haven't seen all of them, right? And plus, it's not always about looks. Yeah. Maybe Aborigine women do special things. Yes, maybe they'll just like jump on top of you and just be like, bow, wow, 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 wow. And you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah. You don't know. But all women of every race can be beautiful. There's just differences amongst them. That's why I feel sorry for people that don't go out there and explore, you know. You know how many people are out there that can't find someone of another race attractive? I feel so sad for them. I've got friends like that. Can't find other races attractive, black and white. My friend Barry always busts himself. He always says the weirdest things. He used to be like, Trev, bro, that's like I saw Beyonce at the MTV Awards last night, eh? Did you see it? Yeah, I saw it. Bro, she's hot, eh? Like, yeah, she's hot. Like, yeah, bro, like if there was one that I'd do it with, eh? One what? Singer, bro. One singer. Yeah, one singer, bro. Oh. Why would you not want to explore? Huh? So many options out there. So many different things you get, you know? I just don't understand the white, the most beautiful. I mean, I can see where you'd be coming from, maybe, you know, because white girls have stunning legs. I've always said this. White women have the most beautiful legs in the world. Perfect legs. You know, it's got the right shape and got like the muscles and the thing. You see it, and then their calf just stands where it should, and it's just, you know, oh, it looks like a transformer. It's just, you know, oh, just, then they got their legs. Have you seen them when they walk in their heels? Just, oh, they've got that thing, and you're just like, what? I was in a pizza place the other day at midnight after a show, and this woman came in, and her legs shut the place down. Everybody, people were chewing quietly. She went to the counter. We didn't even see her face. We just saw her legs. She just stood there at the counter. All of us are looking. She was just the legs alone was stunning. Stunning. I didn't even see who she was. I mean, she could have turned around and been a man and still like, yeah, I would have been like, oh, okay-ish. Super hot. White women have the most beautiful legs, stunning legs, and they've got great looking hair. Great looking hair. But looking hair, that's why looking, not great hair, because their hair falls out like too much for me. It's just like their hair sheds. I don't know what it is about white women, but your hair is always shedding. It's just falling. I don't know what you did to your hair, but it clearly hates you because it's always trying to leave your scalp. The hair. No, white women shed like all the time. You don't date a white woman. You date a white woman in a lint roller because that stuff is everywhere. It's on your clothes, it's on the floor, it's just like in the sink, in the basin, on the shower, it's just in your bed. If you have a white woman, the worst thing in the morning, it looks like you were wrestling a Labrador at night. It's just like fluffy, just hair everywhere. Ah, man. It's too much sometimes, too much. And it goes in their mouth and they're going to talk and the hair's in your mouth. How are you going to have hair in your mouth? Why you just move the hair? You're not saying, no, there's hair in your mouth. Don't say nothing. Hair everywhere. Whereas Indian women, you don't have that problem with them. No, Indian women, their hair, perfect hair. They're just as beautiful as white women, but then they don't have the hair problem. No, they don't. That's where they got one up. Yeah, because Indian women have strong hair, sexy hair. It's black and it's silky and super strong. You just grab it and have you seen it? Oh, it's just like, just grab it like a chariot. Take me to India. Indian women have amazing hair. It's the best hair in the world. You know it's the best hair because even black women wear it. That's when you know your hair is great. When you get other people to wear it. And it looks just as good on black women. It's just as silky, just as straight, just not as strong though. You can't be... Don't touch, yeah? Don't touch. It's just now you're there, the chariot, the steering wheel will come off. Romance gone. Indian women are stunning. They're beautiful. They've got beautiful features. Look at the Miss Universe competition. There's always an Indian woman in the top 10. Always Miss India, huh? You even look at Miss America right now. Right now, Miss America is an Indian woman. That's when you know you're hot. When you're winning other countries' competitions. It was stunning, next level, beautiful Indian woman, everything about them, until you get here, and then, I don't know what happened, because, hey, it's tough here, eh? Because Indian girls get skinny, like they got like these, super skinny, and then they got big knees, and, look like a brown flamingo. It's just like, you're like, no man, how do you? Because they're so hot, but then the legs, it just looks like a long distance runner or something. It's like Miss Universe and then Haile Selassie. It's just, wow. No man, why? It's just, it's not my cup of biryani, man. It's just, it's balanced, but they're still beautiful. All women can be beautiful. Oh, there's no most beautiful. I mean, you look at colored women. Are you kidding me? Colored women? What? Colored women are beautiful. Beautiful and dangerous. Colored women are like blood diamonds. You want them, but you might not get out alive, eh? Because they've got something they've got the right mix, the right features. They just got that thing. Oh! And you know what I love about colored women? It's the fact that they're faithful. They are so faithful to their men. When they say till death do us part, they mean it. But it's your death. Because you don't leave a colored woman. You'd be like, I'm leaving you. You leaving this earth? Ooh, Yana. So there's a balance. But still beautiful. All women can be beautiful. Black woman. I'm willing to bet South Africa has by far the most beautiful black woman in the world. In the world. Stunners, great bodies, great vibe. They know how to dance. They've got culture about them. They're beautiful. Yeah, they might not love their hair, but they make up for it in other places. Gerard, have you ever, Never dabbled in the quota system, Never. Because you see, Gerard, there's something that a black woman will give you that no other woman can. No other woman. And that's ass. But I mean ass, Gerard. Not just, I mean ass. Black women have ass. Beautiful ass. Life-changing ass. No other race has that. None. Indian women don't have ass. No. Colored women will have a bit here and there. White women have got flat asses. Just like, there's nothing there. It just goes flat. Some of them, it's even worse. It goes in. Have you seen that? What the hell is that? It's like anti-ass. It goes the other way. Looks like the Apple logo. What the hell happened there? And then they insist on wearing those costumes, and they'll be at the beach walking around. Hey boys, hi boys, ha. And then the costume, they turn around, but then it's just hanging because there's nothing to hold on to. You see the costume is panicking like, there's no support structure. The costume just hangs. And then they come out the water, and then the beach sand gets caught on the costume. Have you seen that? Yeah, and then it looks like they shat themselves. Hi boys, ha. And you're like, lo muntu skakele, man. One ass, man. Just, the legs, but have something. White women just don't have ass. Well, not all white women. I must qualify this. Not all white women, because Afrikaans girls, hello. Those Lizzles and Marikis. I've seen some ass on Afrikaans girls. Like proper, like almost black ass, basically. It's so ironic. I think God did it on purpose, just to punish their dads for apartheid. Just like, bah! This will bring you together. Stunners. But there's nothing like black ass, real black ass. And I know a lot of guys are scared, Gerard. I know a lot of guys. A lot of guys are like, but Trev, I want a black woman, but brew that ass sometimes. Like, it's just really like, I mean, like, how do you handle it, How do you handle it? And that's the thing. You don't handle it. It handles you. Yeah, just get in there. Let it do its thing, like autopilot. So just, And some guys go, but my problem is it's just too big for me, It's just, no. There's a difference between big and black. You got to understand that. Black is about shape. Yeah. There's a big difference. People don't get it. Because like white girls, a lot of them will have those sad asses. Just like, oh. Whereas black girls, they fill the underwear out. See it, stretch the fabric, make it smile. It's all about the shape. I don't like big. I won't lie. I like medium to small, you know? That's me. Medium to small and firm, but not too firm. Sometimes it gets too firm, it's scary, you know? Yeah, it'll hurt you. You spank it, it'll spank you right back. Just getting like, pow, pow, whoo. Whoo. That's me though. Oh. Some guys like it big, and I know why, because it's fun. It's fun, it's got a rhythm, it's juicy, you know? You can get lost in that. Oh, yeah, I've seen that. You just give it a spank, you see that little wave that goes to the other side. Ooh. If you're fast enough, you can catch the wave on the other side. Pa! 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 Oh! She'll be there like, 15 love.
Alright, so I just watched this clip of Trevor Noah talking about how right now Miss America is a white woman. And I've got to tell you, this is classic Trevor Noah at his absolute finest. Like, this man has this incredible ability to take what seems like a simple observation and turn it into this layered, nuanced, hilarious, but also deeply insightful commentary on race, identity, American culture, and the evolution of beauty standards. This is why Trevor Noah was the perfect person to take over The Daily Show, because he can make you laugh while simultaneously making you think about things you've never considered before. So first, let me set some context here, because this is important. For those who might not remember, or might not have been paying attention to beauty pageant drama over the years, there was this whole controversy back in 2013 when Nina Davuluri, an Indian-American woman, won Miss America. And people lost their minds. Like, the racism that came out of the woodwork was absolutely shocking. People were on social media saying she shouldn't have won because she wasn't American enough, making terrorist jokes, confusing Indians with Arabs, revealing just how ignorant and racist a significant portion of America still is. And Trevor Noah covered that controversy brilliantly at the time, breaking down the absurdity of having a competition called Miss America that's supposed to celebrate American ideals, and then attacking the winner for not looking like what some people think American is supposed to look like. He pointed out how America is literally a nation of immigrants, how American identity is supposed to be about shared ideals rather than shared ethnicity, how the whole point of America is that anyone can become American. So now, fast forward to this clip, and Trevor is talking about how the current Miss America is a white woman. And the way he approaches this is brilliant, because he's not being critical of the winner herself. She didn't do anything wrong. She competed and won fair and square. What Trevor is doing is holding up a mirror to America and asking some uncomfortable questions about how we react to things based on the race of the people involved. Trevor starts by just stating the fact. Right now, Miss America is a white woman. And he lets that sit for a moment. And then he starts breaking down how nobody is upset about this. Nobody is questioning whether she's American enough. Nobody is going on social media to complain that she doesn't represent America. Nobody is confused about her ethnicity or making ignorant comments about her background. And Trevor asks, why is that? And the answer, of course, is obvious but uncomfortable. Because for a lot of people, white is still the default American. When a white woman wins Miss America, that's normal. That's what's supposed to happen. But when a woman of color wins, suddenly we need to have a conversation about what it means to be American, about who gets to represent America, about whether this person is really American or just American on paper. Trevor breaks this down with his characteristic mix of humor and insight. He talks about how interesting it is that American identity is apparently super flexible and inclusive when it comes to white people from any background, Irish, Italian, German, Polish, Russian, whatever, but becomes very rigid and exclusive when it comes to people of color. A white person whose great-grandparents came from Ireland is just American, no hyphen needed, no questions asked. But a black person whose ancestors have been in America for 400 years is African American. An Asian person who was born in Kansas is Asian American. A Latino person whose family has been in Texas since before it was Texas is Mexican American. And Trevor points out the absurdity of this. He talks about how whiteness has this invisibility to it, where it's not marked, not hyphenated, not questioned. White people get to just be American, while everyone else is some type of American, some qualified version of American. And this plays out in how we react to things like Miss America pageants. Trevor also gets into the history of Miss America itself, and this is where it gets really interesting, because beauty pageants have always been about more than just beauty. They've always been cultural statements about who and what America values. And for most of American history, beauty pageants exclusively featured white women, explicitly excluded women of color, enforced Eurocentric beauty standards, and reinforced white supremacist ideals about femininity and attractiveness. The first black Miss America wasn't crowned until 1984. Let that sink in. 1984. Not the 1800s, not the early 1900s, but 1984. There were people competing in that pageant whose parents remembered segregation, who grew up under Jim Crow laws, who lived through the civil rights movement. And even after that barrier was broken, women of color winning Miss America remained relatively rare and often controversial. So when Trevor talks about how right now Miss America is a white woman and nobody bats an eye, he's contextualizing that within this history. He's pointing out that we've had decades, over a century really, of white women representing America in these pageants without anyone questioning it. But a handful of women of color win, and suddenly we need to have deep conversations about American identity and representation. Trevor does this thing where he imagines the different reactions. When a white woman wins Miss America, the response is basically, "Congratulations, nice work, she seems lovely." Very straightforward, very simple, very uncontroversial. But when a woman of color wins, suddenly there are think pieces, social media debates, news segments analyzing what this means for America, people defending the decision against racist backlash, people having to explain why a non-white person can represent America. And Trevor asks, with his characteristic wit, why can't we just let it be simple both ways? Why can't a woman of any race win Miss America and have people just say, "Congratulations, nice work, she seems lovely"? Why does race only become relevant when the winner isn't white? He also addresses the evolution happening in how America thinks about beauty and representation. And he's genuinely optimistic about this. Trevor talks about how younger generations are much more comfortable with diversity, much more likely to see beauty in different forms, much more accepting of the idea that there's no single way to look American because there's no single way Americans look. He references how beauty standards have been expanding, how we're seeing more diverse representation in media, in advertising, in fashion, in entertainment, how plus-size models are getting major campaigns, how models with disabilities are walking runways, how natural black hair is being celebrated, how different body types and skin tones and features are being recognized as beautiful rather than being forced into one narrow Eurocentric standard. And Trevor sees the evolution in Miss America as part of this broader cultural shift. The fact that women of various backgrounds can compete and win, that the pageant has become more diverse, that we're having these conversations at all, represents progress. It's messy progress. It's incomplete progress. There's still a long way to go, but it's progress nonetheless. But then Trevor flips it and talks about how the pendulum can swing back, how progress isn't linear, how we can't take diversity and inclusion for granted. He points out that there are forces in America that are actively pushing back against diversity, that want to return to a time when American identity was more narrowly defined, when whiteness was explicitly centered, when people of color were expected to stay in their place. And in that context, even something as seemingly trivial as a beauty pageant becomes politically charged. Because Miss America isn't just about finding an attractive woman to wear a crown. It's about who gets to represent America, who gets to embody American ideals, who gets to be the face of the nation. And those are questions that cut to the heart of American identity and the ongoing struggle over what America is and what it should be. Trevor also addresses the criticism that focusing on race is itself divisive, that talking about racial disparities is what creates racial problems, that we should be colorblind and not care about race at all. And he pushes back hard against this idea. He says that colorblindness is a luxury that only people who aren't negatively impacted by race can afford. It's easy to say race doesn't matter when you're part of the racial group that's always been centered, always been considered the default, always been treated as fully American. But for people of color, race matters because society makes it matter. It affects how you're perceived, how you're treated, what opportunities you get, whether you're seen as a threat or as trustworthy, whether you're questioned or accepted. So pretending that race doesn't matter, pretending that we can just ignore racial disparities and differences in treatment, that's not progressive. That's just refusing to acknowledge reality. Trevor talks about his own experience as a black man from South Africa who became an American citizen. He talks about navigating American racial dynamics, about learning the specific ways America thinks about and discusses race, about experiencing American racism firsthand. And he brings that outsider perspective to these conversations in ways that are really valuable, because he can see things that Americans who've been immersed in this system their whole lives might not notice. He talks about how in South Africa, during apartheid, racial categories were explicitly defined and enforced by law. Everyone knew what the system was, what the rules were, how racism operated. It was open, explicit, codified. In America, Trevor says, racism often operates more subtly, more insidiously. It's denied even as it's practiced. People will swear they're not racist while supporting policies that have racist impacts. They'll claim to be colorblind while demonstrating clear racial biases in their behavior and attitudes. And this plays out in things like the Miss America controversy. People will swear they're not racist, that they don't care about race, that they just think the Indian American woman who won wasn't American enough for completely non-racial reasons that they can't quite articulate, but definitely have nothing to do with her brown skin or her ethnic name or the fact that she performed a Bollywood dance. Trevor's genius is in exposing these contradictions, in making them visible and undeniable, in using humor to make people confront uncomfortable truths about themselves and their society. When he talks about how nobody questions a white Miss America, but people lose their minds over a non-white Miss America, he's not just making an observation. He's forcing people to examine their assumptions, their biases, their understanding of what American identity means. He also gets into the complexity of how different racial and ethnic groups are perceived in America. He talks about the model minority myth and how Asian Americans are often held up as good minorities who work hard and assimilate and succeed, and how this myth is weaponized against other communities of color. And he points out that despite this supposed positive stereotype, Asian Americans still face discrimination, still get treated as perpetual foreigners, still have their American identity questioned. The Miss America controversy with Nina Davuluri illustrated this perfectly. Here was an Indian American woman who was born in America, who grew up in America, who is as American as anyone can be, and yet she was treated as foreign, as other, as not really American. And Trevor asks, if being born here isn't enough, if growing up here isn't enough, if succeeding here isn't enough, then what is? What does someone with brown skin have to do to be considered truly American? And the uncomfortable answer, Trevor suggests, is that for some people, nothing will ever be enough. For some people, American will always mean white, and everyone else will always be something American, always hyphenated, always qualified, always other. But Trevor doesn't leave it there in despair. He also talks about the America that's emerging, the America that's becoming increasingly diverse, where white people will soon be a plurality rather than a majority, where mixed-race families are common, where people have friends and colleagues and neighbors from all different backgrounds. And in this emerging America, Narrow definitions of American identity don't work anymore. They're outdated, they're impractical, they're out of step with demographic reality. Trevor talks about how this scares some people, how they see diversity as a threat rather than a strength, how they want to make America great again by returning to a time when white people were more dominant and people of color were more marginalized. And he understands that fear even as he rejects it. He understands that change is scary, that demographic shifts can feel threatening if you're used to being the majority and the default. But he also argues that this fear is based on a misunderstanding of what America is. America has always been diverse. From the very beginning, this was a land of indigenous peoples, European settlers, enslaved Africans, immigrants from all over the world. The idea of America as a white nation is a myth, a selective reading of history that erases huge portions of the American population and the American experience.